What's going on, guys? Back home after USTE 2020. I had my first day back at the day job. So, still unpacking. Just want to talk about some stuff and talk about the event and go over some of the things I broke. I didn't break a lot of things driving, unfortunately. Most of them broke just in transit or me doing stupid stuff on the dirt track. But let's go over some of the stuff we got. So I want to say I am not sponsored by this event. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I paid for all my own things. I paid to get there. I paid for my canopy. I had to rent tables from the event like I did last year. Everything you see here, sort of the prizes I got and some stuff people gave me, I paid for. I know a lot of people think, it's a big YouTube channel. It's really not. We're tiny. I mean, we're not even at 50,000. YouTube doesn't really recognize you until you get to 100,000. So, I'm getting by because of the viewers, and my day job pays the bills, and, YouTube doesn't make a lot of money. I had some people assume that I was making a lot of money off of all this, and I'm really not. So, I don't have any sponsors. Nothing's, it is what it is. I'm fine with it. I'm doing this for the love of the hobby, and I like doing my take on it. So, first thing we got is I bought my event t-shirt. I didn't get one last year, and I was kind of upset. And this year I wanted to because I sponsored the event. And by sponsoring the event, you see, there I am. That means I contributed to either money they need to do stuff, which I did not. I provided the 3D printed body for the giveaway, and I also provided, I just threw in a bunch the last day, about six t-shirts and some stickers and stuff like that. And also I did the class. Now most of the time the class, the event pays for the stuff to do that. I opted to provide all my own supplies, so the event didn't have to come out of pocket, and all of the proceeds from the class, which is only like $10 to be in the class, that goes back towards the event. I really like what they're doing down there, and that's the best way I can support it. I don't have a whole bunch of money to throw at it, so I'm, my time, my advertising and all these videos, I've been talking about it for a good 6 months, getting excited for it, and that's because I'm actually excited for it. They didn't pay me for that. It was just, it's something I believe in, so I got behind it and bringing it to y'all. So I got my shirt. I think it was Saturday, the sun came out finally, it got nice, and I needed a hat, so I went and bought a Helios hat from Helios RC. Not advertising, but they have good stuff, because Friday night, I was charging my batteries, one of my little cheap Chinese LiPos here. If you've been following the channel, I've just kind of recently gone to LiPo here in the last year, and a big fan of it, and we were actually rooming with David from Helios, and I can't remember the other guy's name. I'm sorry, I'm so bad with names. I met so many people out there. Great guys, really into the hobby, and so he told me to come talk to him about batteries. Found what I needed, so I picked up two of these 3000 3S 45Cs. They were almost the exact same size as my little 2200s, and they fit all my stuff perfectly, and I charged them both up once. One of them's still in one of the other rigs, that's why I haven't got it out, but it's been flawless. Came right with Dean's plugs on it. I'm digging it, and I'm really hooked on the LiPo thing. I know I've got some other sizes I need to get because I've got so many weird rigs that don't have battery holders, and I'll definitely be getting some more of those and supporting that, because they come out to these events and they do stuff, and they're out there driving with us, and that's part of what's cool about this, is everybody can get FaceTime with these brands, and they can learn what the market needs and, what people like. This last year was my prize. They do the raffle, and even the vendors and stuff are in it. Everybody with the wristband is in it. And, I won this from Boom Racing, and I haven't touched it all year. And I just, was packing, and I threw it in the kit. This came in super handy. I know Greg that came with Big Squid, he needed a couple things out of it. I gave somebody else some stuff out of it, little pins and stuff like that. Really, really handy. I need to restock it before next year because I think I'm wiped out of a few things. But, So y'all know me and Jeremy Griffith, Jeremy from Big Squid RC. We met out there last year, and you've seen our goofy videos doing our interview, and that was all in fun. I know some people didn't catch that. That's a spoof of Zach Galifianakis Between Two Ferns, where he'd interview celebrities and just make it weird. And Jeremy came up with that idea, and we've been talking about it for a little bit. He was way more prepared than I thought he was, and he had his game face on, and it was hilarious. But in the big video that I just put up of the event, in between some of the days of coverage, there's a little bit of the behind the scenes of that, just some outtakes and stuff. You can see we're having a good time. But yeah, hanging out with Jeremy, we roomed, me, him, and Greg, and Paul from Proline. We all had a little Airbnb thing, and it was pretty cool. Get to talk shop and hang out after hours and wrench on rigs and stuff together. And yeah, but I bought my new batteries from Helios, and I was trying to figure out how to program my old Hyperion charger. And Greg, he just had this nice Venom charger, dual charger, and he showed me how to set it up and said, yeah, just pack that one up, you can take it with you. And I was like, all right. So he gave me an updated charger here. It's a little more user-friendly than my other one. And it's a dual charger. The other one's a single charger, so now I've got two good batteries. I can charge them together on my new charger. So, you know, it's just cool stuff like that. It's really awesome. Everybody out there is just so relaxed and chill and just having a good time. And yeah, it was really cool to... it was a really cool experience. It was better this year than last year even. Last year I didn't know what to expect. It was really my first event ever, so I was a little uneasy about it. But so speaking of uneasy, the most uneasy thing for me this year was teaching the class. I was not ready for that at all. And it was a small class. We only had 5 people. And the weather was not right Friday for it at all. So we had these are styrene that Wes made vacuum-formed. And you see he's been vacuum-forming a lot of cool bodies lately. And he did that 53 Chevy truck. And I talked to him about my class and everything. And he's been just odds and ends and scrap pieces of styrene, and on the corners of other stuff he's vacuum forming. He's been throwing fenders on there for me, so we have pieces for the class. And it was a little chilly Friday. Like I said, it was overcast and drizzly, and it was probably in the high 30s, low 40s. So the painting part didn't work out that great. It was going good until we got to the final layer, which was supposed to be that green that my Land Cruiser was, that Satin Lagoon paint. You can see there's just a little spot of it. It didn't have time to fully set up, and it didn't. We had a heat gun, but it wasn't doing it. It needed to set a lot longer, and yeah, most of that came off, unfortunately. But that's kind of what we got. Some people had more green, some people had no green left. It was just kind of a general consensus. I made one along with the class because I don't know how to just stand up and teach, so I was just trying to do one along with everybody since we had enough pieces, since the class was so small. So it was fun. It was definitely a learning experience. I'm still a little, you know, I'm all right back here on this side of the camera, but you get me out in front of everybody, it's a different animal. So that's definitely going on the shop wall here. What else? Got some GCM scale stickers. These are going to be cool. Got some more stuff for the Winnebago. Send it and stuff like that. We got a USTE 20 official sticker. One thing I bought, which I've started doing every year, JS Scale from France makes the official plates. So these were, I think, $10 a piece. And they're actually embossed. You can feel the letters sticking up on them. So I got my USTE 20 Florida plates. Don't know what I'm going to put them on yet. Paul from Proline was passing out. We got Scale BFG tire stickers. And I haven't folded it up, and it got a little squished in the package. A little tire stand like you would see at a discount tire or something. And I've got some Pitbull stickers here because I bought some new Pitbull tires. They have these military tire, what do they call it? They're Timco, what is it? Yeah, Timco Military NDT tire. Alien compound with foam. Let me get you a better look at these on the rat rod. So I was out running on the trail, and I've caught up to a group of people. And the Hilux with the bull horns, the rusty one, it's missing a fender. Just an awesome truck. He won Best Old Look at the gallery. His name's Matt, and I'd never met him before in my life. I started driving with him. We started talking shop. Somehow we started talking about the Winnebago. Well, anyway, I'll finish this first. So Pitbull had gotten there. I think they didn't get there till Saturday. And they had a set of these new tires on some wheels. They let him run them on the trail on his little rusty Hilux. And It's like, man, that is a neat look. I was like, I know there's something I could use that for. So later, I ended up going by the Pitbull group, or the group, I can't talk, Pitbull booth, and I grabbed one. I took it over to my booth, and I was kind of looking, and it just dawned on me that that is the perfect look for the front of this military tank track thing. And yeah, these tires look awesome. I still need to take them apart and try to put the beadlock rings in. Right now they're just sitting on there because I had the 1.7 semi tires stretched on those 1.9s, and yeah, they look awesome on there. I think that really completes the look. And yeah, they're really nice soft tire. He was driving with them. They seem like they work really well. And yeah, so I bought a set of those. And again, nothing free, nothing promoted. I liked them. I bought them just like you would. And I mean, it is a very small tire for a 1.9 wheel. So fitment is going to be weird on some things. Very, very tiny truck with like dollhouse spec. I mean, they're a very small tire for a 1.9. But I think there's a lot of uses with this kind of genre, with the rat rods or with actual military vehicles. So obviously there's a market for it, or they would not invest in actually making them. So, but I think it really looks spot on this thing. So yeah, like I said, me and Mac were talking. He was talking to Winnebago. I was telling him about my woes of finding carpet that was the right color and the right texture. And he talked to me about painting stuff. He's kind of like me. He thinks of it more like an artist than a builder. And obviously, this truck was, his rust was way better than mine. I'm not ashamed to say. He used the same kind of stuff, the actual iron paint, and he does some airbrushing on top of that, and it was phenomenal. Way out of my skill level. I can't even figure out how an airbrush hooks up. But so we were talking, and we were talking about using dirty rags and stuff like that for the carpet. And he said he's had good luck painting fabric for stuff like that. And he disappeared and come back like 10 minutes later and gave me a can of paint that is an exact color match to the green on the Winnebago. What do they call this? It's Satin Eden. We put that up next to the Winnebago. It's just dead on. So he gave me that to paint the Winnebago carpet with. And I think I've got the right towel. And it's already dirty. And it's going to be perfect for it. So that's going to be one thing we're going to work on here pretty soon. And yeah, let me show you some more stuff up here. Another thing, he came at the end of the show and gave me some scale accessories that he had in the back of his truck the entire event. All hand painted, hand airbrushed. Look at that rust on that propane tank. That is legit. Just, just like, hey, throw this in your scale shop, use it in something, have fun with it. I was like, hell yeah, that's awesome. So, yeah, I don't know where I'm going to put everything yet, but we'll get to that. But just a cool dude. Just somebody met him on the trail. And that was kind of how a lot of people met out there, was just out driving their trucks. And talking cool stuff. I got a Scale Mountain sticker. I won a prize, I think it was Friday. It might have been Saturday. So I won the raffle thing. There was enough prizes pretty much for everybody. I guess it was Saturday too. They were drawing numbers of people that weren't there anymore, so they had to redraw. But tons of prizes. I mean, I put in 7 or so t-shirts and stickers and a body, and you can imagine what some of the larger companies put in. Proline, and there was, full kits, RTR trucks, just tons of stuff in the raffle. That's really cool. It's worth staying around the end of the day. See whether it's a little kid or a grown man get excited and screaming they want a kit. That's fun. It's cool stuff. So my thing I got was a sticker, and I got a pallet of the mini materials, cinder blocks. And I've been looking at these for a while. I think when they started making this, they thought it was more of a novelty, and then I guess the scale world discovered them, and now they actually sponsored the event. And yeah, I was kind of disappointed because they had a whole builder's kit. I didn't win it. It had all their stuff in it. But I contacted them. I remember when that was a Facebook video going around of these little bricks, and it was like, I actually had a link to buy them. I was like, that's awesome. So I sent them an email in their Facebook group. I was like, hey, this was last year, right before I built the Scale Garage. It might have been before USTE last year. And I was like, I'll build an actual brick wall for my scale shop. So I contacted them, see if they wanted to do any kind of advertising or promotion thing on the channel, and I needed to buy a whole bunch of bricks and a whole bunch of the mortar and figure out how it all worked. I never heard back from them. So we ended up going with what we've got here in the background, but still pretty cool. Won a box of these, so I'm going to get into those and see maybe, I don't know if we've got enough to actually build anything, or we'll just save this for a load for our semi-truck build. Got a LiPo tester. Jeremy gave me that. I don't remember where it came from. My other part of my prize was a DSM off-road winch line with a hook. That's a really kick-ass looking grappling hook and a synthetic winch rope. I need to actually get a winch working so I can use it. So that was all I won. I mean, they had, I want to say 400 or 500 prizes at least. I mean, it was just massive amounts of stuff, and it was awesome. Like everybody got a chance to win something. Where were we? Oh, the big item. So, like I said, I'm horrible with names. It was Friday I got there. I was swamped because a lot of you had come there to talk shop and look at the rat rods and stuff, and it was awesome. And I got away for a minute, and I went and put my body that I was throwing a raffle, rat rod body, 3D print from Nightcrawlers 3D, and I put that up there at the giveaway bin, and I come back, and I don't remember the guy's name, but he was standing there with this, and he just said, "Hey, would you want this? I'm not going to use it. I printed it myself." And he started doing a little body work on it. It's the same print that I had put in the giveaway. But this one's actually better because I don't like opening doors, and his doors don't open. He printed it closed. The visor's not on it, but it's the Chop 3 window with the full floorboards. There's a leaf in there from the event. And yeah, it's got the roof rack, or the roof grate and everything. And he just walked up and gave it to me. And I didn't even get a chance to get his name. There was so much going on. Yeah. So if you're out there, you're probably watching because you're building rat rods. Thank you again. I wish you caught me off guard. I would have given you a shirt. I gave you a couple of stickers. I mean, it's not a fair deal, but I really appreciate it. Like I said, it was, I guess, fate looking out for me. I never was going to build the other one because of the opening doors. That's why I done it. Now I got one without opening doors. It's perfect. It was supposed to be. But I greatly appreciate that. It's just like, holy crap, somebody just gave me a 3D body. That's a big deal for me. That was like winning a prize out there. That was pretty awesome. So let's talk a little bit now about the stuff that broke and the stupid things I did to break them. Most of the stuff, my trailer that I pulled with the Winnebago, some of that stuff came apart and it just rattled loose in the car. There's no getting around that. It's a rough ride from here to there. Winnebago's fine. That thing is bulletproof, man. It can run over everything and keep going. I did not get a chance to put one of the new batteries in the Winnebago. I'm excited to see the 3-cell on that. I was just running a big 2-cell in there. Oh, there's my other Helios battery. It's in the tank track rat rod. So I drove it quite a bit, and I absolutely love it. So I also want to give a big shout out to Jonathan Baskins and Smokey from PowerShift RC Components. I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names, and I've been talking to these guys all weekend. But yeah, so they come out, and he's got the cool 3D printed battery disconnects. So like, I'm really thinking about getting one. I didn't ever get a chance to really look at them out there because their booth was actually pretty busy, which was good. But yeah, they make the disconnect, so it looks like a scale jerry can, and you just grab the top of it, and it's held on with magnets, and your battery wires are run to it, and it disconnects your battery. So, like the Amigo, I can't get the battery in and out quickly. It's basically a full disassembly. Interior and body have to come off. So something like that in there would be really handy, because the battery's still in it and plugged up because I can't even get to the plug, really. So they make some cool stuff. But so what they do, they come out and they sell their products and all that, and they've got the other company I can't remember the name of. I'm bad with names. But they make chassis and stuff like that as well for more serious crawler stuff. But yeah, Jonathan sits out there and solders pretty much the entire weekend. He's working on his stuff. He's working on customer stuff. He's got, anybody on the trail and they have a wiring problem, they come up and he'd fix it for them. And that's what he loves to do. And he was just chilling back there in his booth, just working away pretty much the entire weekend. I think Smokey got him out on the trail one time, or he was going to try to. But I spent a lot of time talking with him, and he helped me in a pinch about 3 times. I was having some binding issues, and then I broke their bind plug. Sorry. Because some of the rat rods, it's really difficult to get into all that without taking the whole thing apart again, and I couldn't really do that out there. But they're the reason that I actually got to drive the tank track rat rod around, and even on the dirt track. And I got to try to do the sled pull with number 2, and I drove it around, did some donuts. I forgot how fast that actually was, and then with the new 3-cell from Helios, it was pretty hot. It was actually squilling these soft rubber tires on their semi-truck course. And so I didn't get very far on the sled pull. So the sled pull was on grass, on fake grass. So they had indoor-outdoor carpet laid out on grass. So it wasn't perfectly flat. It wasn't perfectly smooth. A couple big trucks had run before me. And this thing has absolutely no ground clearance. So it pulled about 3 inches and stopped. And it was just pretty much the front tires were off the ground. It was sitting on the oil pan for the die-cast engine. But I think I may be onto something with that. I think this could actually pull pretty well. It's got the speed. It's got decent grip. It just needs a little ground clearance. It's got enough weight up front to keep it from pulling the nose up, because this motor is die-cast, so it's got some weight to it. So that may be something we toy with for next year. I mean, I'm not trying to compete with it or anything, but that would make a hell of a video, pulling with the rat rod. But we got to drive that around, and that was fun. And he helped me get this one up and going too, because apparently they all forgot which receiver went to the radio I have in my Spectrums. And tank track rat rod did a few hot laps around the dirt track, and I did break the grill on it. So it's really hard to see. The grill is mounted with some sheet metal to these front uprights, and the servo is mounted to some sheet metal on the bottom of the plastic grill. And you can see the grill kind of flexing there. This side over here, the most solid piece of that broke. So it's not a huge deal, and we're just going to fix it rat rod style. So I'm going to take some more sheet metal, and we'll try to match some of these screws, and match some of the screws on there, and we're just going to bolt a new piece of steel up the side, reinforce it. Probably should go ahead and do the other side while we're there, but that'll be something we do coming up, because this thing was a blast, dude. This actually has good suspension, and it's got enough ground clearance, so I was out there kind of jumping it a little bit. It's not super fast with the tank tracks, kind of slow it down, but sure look cool. So again, it was amazing. The amount of people that come out there just to see the rat rods, the amount of you guys come up, show your support, just say hi, shake my hand, just talk shop for a little bit. You know, it was pretty humbling. And I know I'm terrible with names, but it was kind of cool to put faces to Facebook profiles and pictures of tiny trucks. So that was really, that's what caught me off guard Friday, because Friday last year was kind of a slower day. Saturday was the big day, and this year it seemed like Friday was where it was at least you guys, my viewers, came out on Friday in full swing, and yeah, that was pretty awesome. I was taken aback by that. I didn't get a whole lot of trail time out there, but I got to hit one trail every day at least, and got to spend some time with my friend Jeremy and Greg, and what a weekend. It was so much fun that I went to stay at the beach for a day afterwards, and it wasn't even fun at all. I just wanted to go back and do tiny truck stuff with my tiny truck friends. But definitely planning on going back next year. And like I said, guys, you know, we're small beans. This is a little channel in the grand scheme of things. And you know, I'm doing all this with working a full-time job, so I'm actually going to take a little time off from videos here, because this week has really strained me. I spent 7 hours editing the big USTE video, and yeah, I've got some other projects, stuff I need to take care of now I'm back home. So probably after this video, there's going to be a little pause in production. I'll probably still have some stuff going on, but I'm not going to be putting out regular videos for at least a couple weeks. I've started making game plans for rigs. This year, my goal is not buy any more kits. So if we want a new rig, we're going to have to build it from scratch. And I've got some ideas of a big thing that I need to do. I've got to build a table for my big garage out in the shop. So I'll do one of those videos on that, like I built my shelf, and you know, the non-RC related videos. But that one does have an RC purpose, because I need somewhere to do some metalworking. I'm going to try to... My goal is this year to build a steel rat rod body. I've got the know-how. I don't have the experience. And I've got a few of the tools. So I think we got enough to get started. I just need to build a table, something stout that I can actually work on. And I can't do that in the house anymore. That's going to have to move out to the big shop. So that's what I'm shooting for. No promises, but I've got to do some repair work on the rigs. My Hiluxes, I lost the mirrors, lost the snorkel cap. Nothing broken major. Lost the drive shaft pin. Drive shaft's still on it though, on my leaf sprung one, which I drove around with the trailer for a bit. And I got to get those trucks a little more bulletproof for next year, so I don't have to really mess with them. I can just take them out, enjoy it, and yeah. This year, no kits. I've also got quite a few ideas for the semi truck that is sponsored by RC Hobbies Orlando. If you saw in the video, I did a walk around of the vendor area. You saw the giant, basically entire hobby shop that Nick and the guys brought out. That's the shop that sponsored the semi truck build, and they had everything. I mean, I could have bought a multi-function control unit out there, of RC four-wheel drive functional bin pack lift, everything. They had everything. If you broke it on the trail, they had it. It was pretty cool. And I remember hearing somebody broke something on the trail. I was like, oh, I hope Nick has it. I was like, yeah, Nick's got it. So, that's about the closest thing to a sponsored deal that we've got going. And I don't want to rush it. After seeing the semi trucks out there, yeah, I can't just build it. I got to do something crazy. So we've got it to a point of a roller. I got to do some more brainstorming. I've talked some shop with some of the guys from Canada and got some more ideas. I've started taking notes. I've got a note list of ideas for my semi truck build, and yeah, I've just got to wait for the right stuff to come along. But that's not going anywhere. We're going to get that one done, because that's going to be a bigger part of USTE next year. I can feel it, because that was pretty cool, and that was a big crowd hit too. So I think everybody wants to see more semi trucks out there, and it just makes sense. It's the ultimate scale truck expo, and those are scale trucks. So I appreciate y'all watching and listening to me ramble and go on and on about this event, and listen to me ramble about it all year. And like I said, I'm doing all this on my own fruition. It's an awesome event. I support it. And yeah, hopefully more people can come out next year and see all this stuff in person and talk tech with everybody and anybody who's there. And everybody that's there is scale truck crazy like I am, and like most of you are. So it's a good group of people. So appreciate everybody that come out and talked to me and shook hands and all that. And it was really fun to meet you. And keep it scale. I'll see y'all next year in Florida and in the next video.